Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Go check out my website at skysworld.com. I want to talk about marriage. How do you pick the right person to marry? Right? I mean, choosing your mate is going to be the most important decision you ever make in your life. Choosing who to marry will be the biggest decision you ever make. Bigger than buying your house, bigger than whatever company that you're thinking about starting. There is no bigger decision than this. So you want to choose wisely. And how do you choose? Well, let's talk about a very outdated, incredibly old school, outdated way to choose your wife. Now, if you're one of the, I got a small handful of women that do watch my videos. This goes for choosing your husband as well. But nobody really follows this stuff anymore, and I guess that's why I wanted to talk about it. Anybody out there who's older than me and remembers how things were back in the before time, before fucking society fell, before everybody turned into a degenerate, before this place turned into fucking Babylon, you remember how it was. You can add to this in the comments below, but I want to just go over 4 points really quickly. You know, your parents had a lot to do with your choices in life. And you would find a girlfriend, you'd fall in love with her, and if you decided that I wanted to marry this woman, I would bring her home and let my parents meet her. That meeting was very symbolic in a lot of ways, because she knew that when I was introducing her to my parents, that she was actually special. She wasn't just some fling. You bring somebody home to meet your parents, you're including them in your life. You're bringing them into your family. Because there's a good chance your family will embrace that person, and then they're part of the family. And that was the intention. That was what you wanted. You wanted not just the consent, because you do what you want to do. You'll date whoever you want to date. We've all read the Romeo and Juliet and West Side Story and all these themes of going outside the family's wishes to date someone who's not approved. It's not the approval that you were looking for, it was the blessing. And the blessing was an embracement, that we like her too, and we could embrace her into the tribe. You could be one of us. And you wanted that. And you kind of needed that. Because what if you did marry her, and she was always going to be an outsider? Your mom hates your wife. What kind of, I mean, that's a lot of trouble. That's a huge barrier. Now, nowadays, it doesn't matter. In the old days, that would present, well, maybe we can't get married. Maybe we can't get married until our parents give us our blessings. So it would be this dual thing. You'd meet her parents, she'd meet yours, and everybody would have to agree upon it, and then it would move forward. We don't do that anymore. Another thing that was done is that you would go to church. A lot of people used to be religious people. America as a whole, before 1965, was a religious country, and people went to church, they went to temple, they went to mosque. Most everybody did. Very, very few were atheists. Now it seems like everyone's an atheist. I like religion. I talk to people about religion openly. I'm not scared of the conversation. I enjoy it. I don't look at it as threatening, but some people really do. And I notice that the vast majority of people that I talk to about religion, not that I go around proselytizing or trying to convince anybody of anything, but if I bring up God, oh, it's like people just scatter like water bugs. This society as a whole, and Western civilization as a whole, was a rather church-going, traditional society. So what I'm getting at is that you would also go and look for the blessing of God. You would go and pray upon it. Should I marry her? God, give me a sign. Is she the one? Because you knew this was serious. And divorce really wasn't a thing. Divorce became a big thing in the late 60s and 70s as the baby boomers got old enough to get married. And go ask any baby boomer, any one of them. They've all been married 6 and 10 and 12 times, every one of them. But my grandparents' generation wasn't like that. My grandparents' generation, they married their high school sweethearts and they stayed married forever and they had families forever. That's your grandparents and mine. That's most everybody's grandparents in the world. So there was this generational shift, this breakdown. That's why I'm going to talk about this traditional stuff. So you would get your parents' blessing, you would get God's blessing. Some of the way that God shows you a sign may be just personal. You may say, if this next light is green, Lord, then she's the one. And bam, next thing you know, it turns green. And you're like, well, there you go. You have your little ways of talking to God. But people would do that. But you would also want to really get to know who you're about to marry. And there's two areas that would really make a difference. This is old school stuff. So the next one, number 3 in our list of how you choose someone to marry according to the dinosaurs, the way it used to be, is you'd really find out what her salvation status is. Is she on a path to salvation? Is she a religious person or a faithful person or a spiritual person in any way? That used to matter. It doesn't matter anymore. You would never ask. I've never asked that. I've never even cared or had any interest in that. But it's a good point, because I personally live a very strict mind, body, and soul lifestyle. And it's important to me. It's how I am who I am. It's why I am who I am. It's why I own this house and have businesses and am successful in life, is because of my daily discipline, my lifestyle management, because of my spirituality, my philosophy, my beliefs, all this stuff, right? How am I supposed to fall in love with a woman who doesn't have anything to do with that? And how am I supposed to trust her to raise my family, to raise my kids in the right way, if she's not engaged in any kind of deep thought, any kind of personal salvation, personal growth, self-mastery, mindset training, anything? She's just some dingbat, go nowhere, do nothing chick who's really good at sucking and fucking. That's not good enough. What's her salvation status, her spiritual status? So you'd want to find that out. It's a conversation. You want to start asking her questions and see what her deal is. And if she's not on the path, she's just sitting by the side of the road, you're on the path. If she's not on it, well, I don't know. Maybe she's just a Netflix and chill chick, right? Maybe she's not marriage material. And the fourth one is something we definitely don't care about anymore, and this is to do with their ideas on divorce. A woman who had been through a divorce has always been a red flag, and men have always steered clear of those types of women. One of the reasons is because divorce used to be looked at as an incredibly taboo, an embarrassing, shameful thing to go through, and most people did not go through it. Now it is the option. Oh, it's nothing. It's like getting a haircut. People are getting divorces all the time. I meet somebody, let's get married in some passionate fit, and then get divorced a couple weeks later. That's the Hollywood wedding. How many celebrities are doing that? Some of you are doing that. I've met 25-year-old chicks who've been married 4 times, and it's like, what? I mean, are you insane? So you would find out about their prior marital status, and you would find out, if they are divorced, what their opinion on divorce is. You see, this is why this is a problem, because most people didn't believe in divorce as an option. You would go to your priest or your pastor or the rabbi or whoever, and you would do marriage counseling. You would go to a marriage counselor. You would do anything you could. Sleep on the couch for a week. Anything you could to save this for the family, because you have a family, and that's what this is about. So when you meet somebody who's divorced, there's a huge question. Well, why do you think you have that option? I mean, I'm sure you understand that it's illegal, and you can go to any lawyer's office and they'll start rubbing their hands together because they know this is a big paycheck. But somebody who's gone through it before definitely can go there again. As soon as they get annoyed, as soon as they don't get their way, as soon as you stop mowing the lawn when they want you to, or whatever the annoyance is, they have this option. When they get disgusted by you one day, they have this option. There's always this option to just divorce you, to go to the lawyer's office and get some paperwork and slap it down in front of you and say, fuck you, I'll go find another motherfucker and try this again. He's going to be better than you. And she could try it 6, 7, 8, 10 times. I don't believe in divorce. And I'm going to make a commitment to somebody that I'm going to try my very hardest to be cool and to be a good man for you and to make this work no matter what. There may be times when I hate you, but I'm going to stay with you and in love with you and realize that there is something larger than just me and my little emotional fit right now. And that's called family. But I need this same commitment back from you. And if you're always going to hold this option, I'll just divorce this motherfucker, fuck him, then maybe it's not really somebody who you want to actually make that commitment with. It might be too risky. You might want to find somebody who's more mature, who's more dedicated, who's more ready to go all in, who's not looking for that back door. It's food for thought. Thanks for watching.